Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the NAPRA cooldown lap. This is like record timing, is as in getting them out, not a year apart from each other. So I am, of course, Ford, joined by Supreme, Kirby, and David, and we got a good amount of topics to go over again today. Um, we have topics like Kansas recap from this weekend. Gonna go over the point situation as we have one more week left until the playoffs. Disappointing drivers this season, potential silly season things, NAPRA executives in the Chicago ordeal, D1 competitiveness from D2, favorite NAPRA moments thus far, and basically anything else we can think of. So, I guess we'll start off with the elephant in the room and talk about this pretty good Kansas weekend from both the NAPCS and the NBS. So, David and, well, I guess I raced D2, but if you two D2 drivers want to give your perspective on the Kansas race?
Well, certainly say this: I'll tell you what, the fans definitely would have loved that type of racing. That was incredible for them. But honestly, as a driver, especially for me, I don't know how the rest of the field felt, but a bit too packy for me. I mean, obviously you could pull away a little bit, but you could easily uh pull back. And I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but especially out of turn two, if you rip the high side, your car would just suddenly bolt to the left all the way to the below the apron. I don't know if that was the issue with the cars or the track itself, but a bit annoying sometimes. I mean, not a great day for me. Thought I had enough fuel and tires, just so I had to pit early, and fortunately missed out on a lot of good points there in the end. But at least as of right now, we maintain the number one seed heading into, well, what would be number one seed heading into the first round. And I guess that's really all I gotta say. Anything from you, Russell?
Um, Racing was all right. It was pretty tight knit, packed, per usual. I would have loved to just have the field spread out a little bit, and have the drivers run away with the lead, but not have like pack racing. But it was okay. Um, Pit strategy sort of played a role here, but with the caution close to what would have been the pit window, that meant some of the drivers would have to gamble on tires and fuel, and I was one of them. Unfortunately, I didn't think I have enough, so I just decided to pit. Got a penalty from it, but it's whatever. Um, Racing was good, but interesting weekend, let's say the least.
Yeah. Um, so my perspective from the D2 race, I'll be honest, I like the D2 cars more. Typically, I'm not a guy for like really tight cars in certain like applications, but I really liked the D2 cars setups more than setups. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a fact of like fun because I didn't lag as much in D1 race as I did in D2. But like I don't know, D2 was just more enjoyable even with the lag. It's just I thought it was more fun, a little more spread out, not as big of packs as in D1 or as D1 had. Um the cup cars still good, fast, fun cars to race. Um I got screwed over a crap ton. This is probably the most screwed over I've been in a race this season. So, but that's that. Supreme, what was your opinions on the Kansas week as a whole?
um, for the most part, it was straight. Obviously with races that start that are like pack races, even though it's a bit dicey whole way. I had a few other than that. After like stage one, we were the top five from both. I was pretty fun. I wanted to win that race. I was in the mix to win it, but didn't really get that last pass. Glad for my teammate to win though. So
Yeah.
I'm honestly looking forward to Scorcher uh, this weekend. I haven't raced there at all, and it's been ran 3 times in D. Really excited for that. Other than that, Kansas was straight. Wish it wasn't that much pack racing, but yeah, it was straight.
Yeah. So David, did you see any of the D1 race?
I was officiating it. So
Were you
yes.
officiating? Okay. Yeah, you were officiating. You and Russell both. Okay, sweet, perfect then.
Yeah.
So, from your guys' perspective, what did you guys think of the Kansas race?
Honestly, it felt well, at least from my perspective, it looked similar to D1 setups wise and racing wise.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of the aggression shared from both divisions, and I mean, I don't really got much to say on it. It's just same as D2, really.
I will say
Yeah.
it definitely got. I will say this about D1. It definitely got aggressive in the end. Like you were having drivers just throwing you up the track. They would dive it in faster than what they should have been going and shove you up the
Oh, yeah.
track. I mean, it's coming to the playoffs. It's gonna be that way. It's gonna be tempered. It's gonna be a lot of pretty iffy moves that are kind of dumb, but it's racing.
Like
It's what's gonna
brake
happen?
check,
I mean,
like brake
shoot, I
checking.
was in the
Yeah.
Dude, I was in the front, so it was pretty respectable between me, Hobbs, Lucas, and Flicker. So it was
Yeah.
straight.
I had the Kyle Busch start, which I did. Oh my god, I got pushed, but I'm done talking about that.
It's. I mean,
I mean, me and Russell only wanted you to like drop like a little bit, like, but still not too
Yeah,
much.
like-
And then King said, "Fuck you." Back
I
to-
know.
Yeah, like
I was gonna drop to
advocating-
like third, and I didn't want to break in front of Flicker, but I lagged, and then I ended up slowing him down a little bit. And I was gonna like run the wall and just drop back a few positions because I was in like sixth. But then he said drop back to like P9. And I'm like, dude, the only way I'm gonna do this without screwing people's races is just going all the way to the back and try to make my way back up. Which I started making my way back up because I'm like, we got like 30 laps left. I'm like, I can build my way back to the front whether there's a caution or not. But once Forza started having his lag and I got screwed over 3 times from his lag issues, putting me in the wall, putting me onto the apron, it completely screwed me. Like if it wasn't for
yep.
Forza with his lag, I probably would have gotten a top 6 because I was
Yeah.
quick, but just wrong place, wrong time all race. It seemed like just not meant to be.
Funnily enough, around that same time when he started having his issues was when he decided to switch up schemes mid-race.
Yeah.
Oh
so-
yeah. Like Tom said he was like changing up like schemes like a Naruto or whatever he said, and
Yeah.
it did not age well at all. So
You know, I literally saw the Rockstar card. I'm like, what? Like you were not in that.
yeah, interesting move, I would say.
Alrighty, so second topic we got of the like 7 or whatever. So disappointing drivers on this season. I will say I'm gonna bring up the points document just to kind of work off of. Honestly, I can't think of many from my perspective. I can't think of many drivers that were really that big of disappointments. I mean, I at least in D1, I can't really think of many drivers that are kind of a. Well, I mean, there is Ballin, but he just hasn't been active at all. If he was active, I think he'd be in the playoffs right now. In D2, out of any driver that I would say is probably disappointing this season, I would say Hickory, but again, he hasn't made many races either.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that's really all I got for them. Honestly, just Hickory mainly, but neither of the two have made many races. It's really just an issue of, well, I will say genetic. Since we cut genetic, 100%. Genetic definitely was a disappointment. He had a lot of potential, in my opinion, to be about a low end, playoff driver, but just did not show up for but like 2 races. So there's that.
Yeah.
David and Russell, you guys have any disappointing
Well,
drivers?
For me in D2, I would have to say Volvo a little bit. Coming off a 10-win season, you would expect them to be like up there in points, up there in
That's
wins,
true. That's true.
contending for wins. And the only win he has is in the 20, which is at Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising for a driver who just literally won a championship the previous season.
Yeah.
So I could have put them in disappointing drivers, and then I have to say Alex for disappointing driver too, because I felt like at the beginning of the season he was doing really good, but after he was signed with Late Night Racing, I felt like he just took a dip in performance. I
Yeah.
feel like, um, and then of course you said Hickory, which of course he hasn't shown up,
Yeah.
and then I gotta say also Genetic, also he hasn't been there much, and I guess that's it. And then for D2, I would have to pick let's see. I don't know. I would have to say the Arky in the 87. He hasn't ever since he won Atlanta. I was like, expecting them to be up front lately. He almost won Phoenix, but after he got inactive, he's took a nosedive in points.
Yeah.
And Deer, and then another one would be Deer because I don't he literally got signed by the biggest team in D1, but he hasn't done anything with it other than some good runs that when he showed up. But other than that, he's been pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
And plus, he was also suspended at Rockingham in the D2 race, so that's an interesting outcome for him. So that's my list of disappointing drivers.
Yeah. Supreme, what you got?
For D2, disappointing drivers, I'm probably gonna. I mean, even though he's second in points, but we're gonna go Volvo first. Even though, yeah, he's second, but he's coming off of like a 10-win season. He only has one win. Uh, I mean, everyone's kind of have a 6th place average finish. Holy, but most DNFs out of everyone in the field too. So he's definitely gotta pick up the pace a little bit. I mean, he set the bar high, winning a championship. So we just kind of expect him to be there to repeat, but he's currently 3rd in the playoff standings so far, if we were to end the playoffs today. But, you expect a little more from a reigning champion. Next, I'm going to go with probably Waffle. I mean, Waffle had a really strong start to the season, and
Oh
since
yeah.
then, it has just been downhill for him. Just not he's just I don't even know what to describe it, but he's just taking a just a just his season has imploded really.
Also, could I add on to the waffle thing?
Yeah.
He did say he was like ever since his little point stock situation, I think that really hurt him in the points and his confidence.
I
So
mean, even if we give him 30 points back, he's still what, barely 6th place in points,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
he
Oh
still
yeah,
only
yeah, true.
has, or he's still tied for 8th in points in terms of
Oh,
playoffs. So
true,
it's like, yeah.
true. Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Next driver, I'm gonna go with Alex. Not saying that I was expecting a lot, but I was expecting just a tad bit more. But obviously, I'm pretty sure he only has 7 starts, which is tied for the least amount in the current playoff standings. But Hernan also has 7 starts, but he also has 3 wins. He's been really good, even though he started halfway through the season. So it's kind of here nor there. I'm also gonna probably say Toddy, but not saying like he was expected to be great, but man, Toddy is just been it's been a season for him. No top 3s, no top 5s, only 3 top 10s, and he has 9 starts, which is just statistically just horrible for the drivers around the bubble. He's lucky he's not way worse off than what he is. He still has a fighting shot at a super speedway, so thank God for him. But he's got to compete with Alex. He's got to compete with Nick. He's got to compete with Sierra. He's just got competition that's not looking good, especially if he has to face Nick, who's
Oh
been
yeah.
good at Daytona
Yeah.
before he became a reserve. And then for D1, D1's been competitive. Like there's no
Very
like
competitive.
one
Yeah.
disappointing driver really.
Like
Does
from 8th in points to about 11th. I mean, all of us, any of those drivers could really be in or out of the playoffs, like
Yeah,
by next week.
but I guess we'll start kind of up a little bit. Disappointing drivers. I'm gonna say AJ for starters. Just he only has one finish, or maybe not one. I think two finishes inside the top two. Okay, not two. He has 4, 5. But even then, one top 5. He hasn't really found like consistent speed. He's gotten a little better as of late, but how long is he gonna maintain this for playoffs come in? He's last in playoff points among the current playoff drivers, and just hasn't just been caught up in a lot of mess. I won't go Mace because Mace has been a hell of a lot better as of late. He might make some noise in the playoffs, especially after the points reset. Um, I would go Ford, but I don't think it was expected that Ford would do crazy good this season. But he's done better than what I thought. He's out of the playoffs right now, but we're going to a super speedway and anything can happen. He might just sneak up in there. Now he's gonna
Win it.
be he's gonna be last in the playoffs if he makes it. But there's a super speedway in the first round, so he also still can make some noise. Darlington's also on there. He's always good at Darlington. So if he makes the playoffs, he could make some decent noise to start for the playoffs. I think that's really it for disappointing drivers. Because other than that, it's like drivers that just haven't shown up enough to really make any noise.
Yeah.
So that's really it.
So my next thing, so potential silly season moves. So if I pull up the contract list, I will say, essentially all of Bear Motorsports on paper at the moment, besides Flicker, which Flicker and Supreme are both retiring, are all their contracts are ending after this season. So Bear Motorsports, a lot of crap to go on with BMS and silly season. Who knows what's gonna happen with them? BTM, I feel like BTM. I mean, I feel like if there's any drivers that will be gone off that list that are still here and that are active, I would say Bance or Hickory. I don't know where they would go, but I think if they were to go, beginning the second of 3 seasons on their contract, I think it would definitely be Bance or Hickory to go, especially Hickory with the activity issue. Same thing with like DSR. Dragon and Zach are on forever contracts. Lucas is there till season 10 with a 1-year option. Tango's there till season 10. Nick season 9, Angus season 9, Scare season 9, all with 1-year options. I think any of those 3 could leave, but I don't know. Torino's got a way of keeping people. I don't know how, but he's got a way of doing it. I don't see much happening with LNR, honestly. I think as long as LNR can keep a hold of Milky, Waffle, and try to keep on or hold on to Mace, I think LNR can have a very good team, at least with those 3 as kind of a base of drivers. DRM, I mean, Chris is essentially non-existent. So there's that.
Yeah.
Michigan signed till season 78, so Michigan's gonna die in the car. Visks, a little underwhelming, but he's been pretty good for when he's made races. NASCAR fan or David clearly top of the team. Cloaked, he's been pretty. I'm not gonna lie, he's been pretty decent.
Who's that?
The one car. Jordan car.
Hobbs.
Is it Hobbs? Yeah, it is Hobbs. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is where I'm not even going to talk about Rab Racing because I think anything can happen with Rab Racing. They could shut down. I don't even know. Rab Racing, anything could happen to that team. I can't even like make specifics on what I think could happen silly season wise with them. Now JRM, JRM's kind of that team where I'm like, literally, there's so many things that could happen that could be good or bad for JRM. I mean, all of their contracts are expiring at season 10 or season 12. Everybody there, Court, minus Taylor, Red, Hernan, blah blah blah, they will be there for 1 to 3 more seasons on their contract or on paper wise there. But I could see a lot happening in JRM. I think the one thing I could see Red. I could see Red leaving. I could see Red going to a separate team. I could see Hernan possibly going to a different team. Those are really the only two that I see that I think those are going to be two big movers in this offseason if they were to move, because I mean, look at Red. Red has been pretty good. He has been slightly underwhelming, but he's been very good. He's been active. That's a big thing. He's been very active within the team. And he has often voiced his frustrations publicly about Javarero.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
one thing to think about.
I've also talked to him about joining with us next season, but that's like a big like jump shot because I don't think he's gonna be let go of JRM before,
Yeah.
unless something happens. So
And I also want
it's
to
kind of like a lost cause.
sideline here as well. I was talking to him at one point, and he mentioned to me about when he agreed to a 2-season extension. He didn't realize how long his original contract was until I told him he will be until season 12. So maybe there's something on the table that, since he was probably drunk and confused as to how long his contract was, to where he can have an excuse to leave. But
Yeah.
there's
Which
that.
who owns JRM anyway? Is it Ethan?
It's co-owned
yeah.
by Ruby and Ethan.
Okay. I knew Ruby was a co-owner. I thought Ethan was. Okay. So okay, I know who owns it then. That's really all I have for Philly season. So you guys can free for all, whatever you guys want to say. I'm good. I don't
How do
see
you want
much
people
else
to
that
hear
can
your
happen.
voice? He was, but then
Yeah.
he put co-ownership to someone, and then they dropped
Yeah.
him, and then put Ruby in that position.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really have anything for silly season from my end. Of course, my drivers are gonna be signed like extensions and whatnot, so we're staying for one more season. That's the thing, though, because I don't tend on spending too much time here because college is starting to come in, and I'm starting to get a little bit more busy. So I don't I don't know who I would transfer to ownership if I were to leave NAPRA, but that's all I gotta say. This is like you know seasons into the future, like 4, 5, 6 seasons into the future, or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say.
I really don't got anything either.
Me neither.
Supreme, you got anything? Anything want to add on?
He said he'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess we will on. So, next topic of business. So this is gonna be controversial, for me. NAPRA executives getting caught up in Chicago with Chief Keef.
Oh man.
Whoever else, man. I'll tell you what, dude. I was my ZL one. I talked some crap. I smacked Chief Keef. Whatever I did, I forgot what I did. I was probably drunk. I ain't gonna lie. Smirnoffs. Next sponsor, NAPRA. Smirnoff Cup Series. Anyway, yeah. So my ZL1 got shot up. We had a lot of places. Let me find the actual.
And you got
I gotta
Chief
find the
Keef,
post.
Lil Durk. We got NBA Young Boys gang as well. I mean, it's a huge deal. Well, I guess was.
Sort of.
Still might be.
How do you even get in a fight with someone with the fact that you agree for him to just be at Chicago?
Okay, let's look at it. So, November 30th, just before midnight into the 31st, breaking news: the NAPRA Media Network. There was unconfirmed reports of a series of apparent coordinated attacks targeting multiple members of NAPRA across several states. King was allegedly shot at. Torino was reportedly shot at on his arrival to Maryland. Forza's property, New Orleans, was fired upon. My primary house got shot up supposedly, so which it did. Laker's primary residence fell victim as well. Supreme was ambushed. So there went the investigation, and then December 1st, roughly the same time of night, breaking report from Chicago. New information surfaced revealing the extent of behavior that led to the nationwide backlash against NAPRA leadership. That was me, so I smacked Chief Keef in public before the live stream. Several hours before returning to the compound, I allegedly confronted him outside a small venue in downtown Chicago. Multiple witnesses claim that I struck him across the face in an argument. That began after I bragged my ZL1 is worth more than Sosa's whole block. I did say that. FBI reviewed that. Live stream ignited a firestorm. Insulted Chief Keef, King Von, Lil Durk, and me, a young boy. Urinated on King Von's coffin.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
bro.
goodness.
This is all what I did, by the way.
Probably
and
from
then
too much drinking.
I quote,
Coors
I
Light.
said NAPRA backs me on this on everyone's soul, even mine. And that's when my house was shot up, blah, 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 everything happened. And this is more behavior from me. All I care about is my 2013 ZL1. I had no concern for NAPRA's image. 2 casualties were confirmed. One of Torino's security detail was shot and killed while shooting him fire. As they departed from his plane in Maryland. King's escort driver was killed during the attack on his motorcade. So yeah, I was suspended without pay. Still on that suspension, by the way. Then let's get to what people said. So, Supreme, visibly stressed, pleaded on camera, "I do not associate with Ford anymore. I want nothing to do with this insanity." Flicker said, "I'm never traveling with Ford again, ever." King said, "This is what a big mouth gets you." Forza and Torino declined to comment. And then we have gang responses. NAPRA better check in next time they come to Chicago. That's mandatory. That's from King Von. Chief Keef. Ford put his hands on Sosa. That's suicide. NAPRA better hide every last one of their people. And Lil Durk's people. Don't speak on Durk's name again. NAPRA. Not welcome. So this is... I screwed the pooch on that one.
It's really
So yeah, anything you guys want to add on to that?
I
How
felt
did he
like
even get involved into that?
he's
Um,
he's a crazy man.
yeah, basically. I mean, he's been drinking too much Coors Light as of late, so that's probably why he hasn't been performing well. I'm joking.
And
so the way I got involved was I got a little tipsy, right? At one of them bars, Chicago. Didn't go. Saw Chief piss me off. He was just loud, obnoxious in public, drove me nuts, and I went up there to talk my shit because I got the ZL1. It's a 1 of 1,000 spec ZL1, and I'm like, this is my shit. This is a $1.5 million ZL1, most expensive Camaro in the last decade, last 20 years. So, and then that's when everything went down. So, I started doing all that shit. Yeah, so that is how that happened. So
Interesting.
just want to say, rest in peace to DeMarcus DeQuayshawn the fifth. That was Torino's bodyguard, and Jamal Jackson the 20th. That was King's part of King's. MO.
20th?
So I just rest in peace to those two. They deserve better. I hope they're having a better life above us, and that's really all I gotta say.
yeah, well, So, next topic. So, describing the racing product from the season as a whole from the driver's perspective. I'll start off in D1. I've only done two D2 races. I'll start off with D1 topics. I said yeah. So in the Cup Series, I think racing product. If it wasn't for lag, like on my end, because I've had a lot of lag, Spectrum and junk, but I think the racing product has been very good. The brake and turn, it's not the brake and turn I thought it would be. Like it's not as strong as I think it'd be at some tracks, because it's still got a mix of the old cars, like the outdated cars, but it's got a mix of modern racing. I'll be honest, I think racing product has been very good this season compared to the majority of our previous seasons. I think our previous seasons we had a lot more flaws that were big flaws. Like we have a lot of flaws now with our cars, but they're more concealable. Think of it as makeup, I guess. They're concealable. You can hide it. They're not that big of issues. They're just, little nitpick things versus these things that are kind of annoying. They cause this, cause that. And I will say we are working on the lag issues. I've been starting to remove certain parts from the current chassis on the D2 cars to try to limit lag, limit parts in every race. See how contact and stuff goes. It's going to be a lot of testing with that. I'm sure we'll do a lot of off-season testing with drivers and stuff. So we got a lot of off-season work to do, try to make progress on fixing these cars, or not fixing them, but making them better for everybody. So there's that. But the racing product so far, I think, has been very good. We've seen, pack race or plate tracks always been the only good late track package we ever had. I think it was season 5. It was when we still had the Gen 3 rematch, like Gen 6 Monster Energy card. Had the huge spoilers. I'm sure Supreme remembers the old Challenger bodies. He had the Texaco car all the time. I'm talking, these are like 24-inch spoilers. These things are huge. Had the rear extension, on the back. Very good cars. They pushed good. They drafted good. Like at our flat Talladega, the older Talladega, they raced very good. 2 wide, even 3 wide at times. I know on my YouTube channel I have a test session from driving those cars, and they were very good in pack racing. They did good pushing. We didn't lock on as much. I would love to go back to those packages. Those were fantastic plate cars. Plate cars have always needed work. Ever since we left that generation of car, we have needed fixing on the plate. But I will say intermediate tracks, they have gotten a lot better. There's been a lot of difference in plate or intermediate tracks. They haven't been bad historically, but they haven't been consistently great. If that makes sense. So intermediate tracks have gotten better with these current generation cars. Short track racing, the fact that NAPRA, even 5 years after, or in their 6th running year, the fact that NAPRA had a successful Martinsville race with over 5 cars is astonishing to me. Martinsville was always one of those short tracks that we thought would never happen 10 years down the line if it was like iRacing even. Just never something that would happen. So I think, I'll be honest, I'll glaze King for this. King has been the saving grace for this league. He's gotten our hands on good things to make this racing product better, and it's just been good. I've liked watching D2. It's been really interesting to watch. It's fun to drive. There's a lot more pit strategy now that we have tire wear that actually works and tightens up the car, and you can see the difference. We have different fuel options. I know I'm kind of rambling on here. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to the race product, and from my perspective, I think it can only get better from here, especially plate tracks, and I hope it gets better because I think it's pretty good so far. That's all I got.
I'll give my perspective of D2 races. Super speedway racing, it's always been kind of like a iffy kind of deal. I haven't watched Daytona yet, but Atlanta, it was pretty lackluster to say the least. We kept bumper lunking. We kept the cars kept easily turning right, left without us putting any inputs.
Yep, a lot of input delay and input
Yeah,
issues
it's
for
kind
sure.
of it's kind of irritating, but we're still working on it. We're still doing tests. Um, and then of course you got intermediate tracks. Um, they've been all right. Nothing spectacular to say the least. They've been decent, but the main issue is descending. Driving in way too deep and then getting like that runoff afterwards. It's kind of annoying how in order to be fast, you just have to be like really, really like you have to send it into the corner and then just try to break somewhere close to the wall. Um, to get a good runoff, which is kind of annoying. I don't really like that kind of setup. Short tracks have been really good, honestly, from my perspective. Most of my top fives have come on the short tracks, so you just gotta figure out when the breaking point is and when to like be careful with the bending part into other drivers. So it's been pretty good to say the least. Pretty close, good battles with the other cars. And road courses have been really decent. Coda and Saskatchewan have brought us some good have
Yeah,
brought us some good racing.
real
Hmm.
quickly to add to your road course stuff. I don't know how I forgot to talk about road courses. Like you said, Russell, road racing has been incredible this season. I mean, Chicago was better than we thought. It wasn't great, and technically it's a street course. It wasn't great, but it was better than we thought. And Coda was incredible.
Yeah,
Saskatchewan's revamp, incredible. So I am 100% with you on road course, without a doubt.
yeah, yeah. Road courses have been really good. They've brought us like good racing, good finishes, good pit strategies, interesting storylines, and all that. So far, it's the season as a whole, racing wise, has been pretty decent. It's really like what Ford said in the past. This is the most competitive season of all time, if if not if not like probably top three. So that's all I gotta say about D2 from my end. So, you, anything to add, Toddy or David?
Not really.
Okay.
We'll say this. You mentioned they've been testing the cars, and actually, as of when we're recording this tonight, NAPRA is going to be hosting a test session at the Saskatchewan track to
Uh,
ensure
Torture.
setups. Yeah, Scorcher. My
Scorcher.
bad.
Yeah.
They're testing setups at the track to ensure the best possible racing or locate any issues, and if they deem the track to be goofy or the setups to be goofy they might just have to throw a Hail Melon right there or just do a last second track change. But I highly doubt it's going to come to that. We might test even more tracks, but right now it appears that only Scorchers has been the only confirmed for that. Really, on the racing product itself, it's pretty much similar from the rest of these guys that have talked so far. Road courses have been amazing. Short tracks, solid. Super speedways, I mean, what do you expect? And for intermediates, I wish again they were a bit more separated, but they're
Yeah.
still alright, I guess.
Alrighty. Anybody else got anything else to say on racing product, guys? Anything you guys want to say from your perspective? Anything you've noticed with the cars? Anything you like? Blah blah blah. Tracks wise, even.
Not that uh, I think the only issue I have with the super speedway cars is like how wobbly they are. Like, it takes you a long time to get a car straightened out, and you're trying not to get to other people, and it's like really hard to like recollect your car. I wish they had this thing where they just kept it stable, like not getting to other cars,
Yeah.
avoiding like this jackknife effect when a car goes high and then they realize they're not clear and they accidentally just jackknife. I wish they got rid of that issue. It's really sort of annoying, and it's totally the reason why we have so many cautions at super speedways. So that's something I want to advocate to avoid happening in the future. So
Yes. Another thing is, you mentioned not the best of super speedway products, and it's gone to the point where NAPRA themselves have confirmed for next season's schedule that they are going to re destroy the track again to turn it back into the classic Atlanta for next season.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
I think just a sign showing that even they know this cannot go on for much
Yeah.
longer, and they're looking for a better fix. And in the meantime, they're lessening the super speedway races.
also there were talks of like not going back to Chicago after what happened with the execs getting up, just getting into a kerfuffle with the mainstream rappers. So,
Yeah.
but I'd say Chicago racing wise was all right. I mean, it was sort of annoying having drivers just drive straight into you,
Yeah.
even and that was the biggest issue for me. So, I think I want to go back there. The track's kind of terrible too. So,
I will say one talks for the last week, Kevin. And I don't have much to say about these talks besides it's only like a 20% chance of this happening, maybe lower. Um, this is kind of a question of drivers and just anybody out there. Um, there's been talks of possibly an Atlanta race or some typically good intermediate race to be shifted over to an Atlanta situation, as in it'll be kind of like a mix of the 550 package and a mix of the super speedway package. So it'll be like 170, 180 mile an hour full throttle with like intermediate draft. So it's not going to be like pure pack racing, but it's going to be tied together. So there's a talk about D1 Cup Series and possibly D2 both getting a weekend like that, so we can work out the plate track issues. Because granted, it's not going to be a plate track, like Scorcher Day. It all depends how Scorcher does, honestly. Because the only good super speedway track NAPRA has right now that is reliable enough is Elwood. Elwood was decent in D1 testing, it was really good in D2 last race, so Elwood's really the only consistent plate track and NAPRA has left right now. So there was talks about possibly a event next season running a super speedway package to see, if maybe that will race more like a super speedway than an actual half-mile track. So, what are your guys' opinions?
um,
I gotta. That's again. I'm not gonna judge anything until it's tested, but doesn't by that pitch alone. I don't know if I want to necessarily agree with it, but again, until it's tested, I'm not gonna completely trash it.
yeah, I'm gonna just agree with David. Um, it sounds interesting, but I can't really be the judge of anything before it's tested. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any opinion or questions? Alrighty. So, next topic, we only got about 2 more topics actually. D1 competitiveness from D2. Honestly, from my perspective, I think D1, D2 has more drivers, like 3, 4, maybe 5 more drivers than. So they have a larger field on average. Although, I think this is where it gets weird. D2's competition, I think, overall, I think D2's competition is closer together. Like, I think there's a lot of competition in D2, but they're all very close in skill. In D1, I think there's almost more competition, but they're not all the same skill level, if that makes sense. Like, there'll be some tracks, Forza dominant. Nobody can catch him. Even like if Frando were to be back when he had his great run at the beginning. But then there's other weekends, Forza's mid pack to back of the pack, whether it's lag issues or just pure skill. I mean, there's just stuff like that. So, I think their competitiveness is similar, but I think they're both unique in their own way in both. So, all I got for it.
I want to say, you mentioned Forza and his competitiveness. I'm honestly thinking he's falling off. Ever
I
since
agree.
he's won All Star, something has just happened to him. He's still like during the race, he'll still be like in the lead,
Oh
but
yeah,
then stage 3 happens, and then all of a sudden, it just something switches off.
Yeah.
Whether it be crashing into the tire barrier, I guess lag in Martinsville. I don't really what happened there specifically,
yeah.
or
Well, and
again being cocky and changing schemes mid race,
Yep.
causing him to be cursed.
And-
It's just
I'll say this: like, I'm with you. He's had more inconsistency this season. At certain like I'm pretty sure he surpassed his consecutive win streak, but he's also been inconsistent recently, as in results compared to his normal self. But on the other hand, again, to kind of help his side, he could become the first driver to get that huge feat of 1,000 points in the regular season. I mean, you can get 70 points from winning a race, and that's not counting points from a stage. He's at like 920 something. He's like 75 to 80 points from 1,000 points. If he were to dominate Scorcher, get like third, and first in the race, he would surpass 1,000 points. I mean, he's not far from 1,000 points, which that's a big feat for a regular season. Even granted, this regular season's pretty large, but to build up 1,000 points on this system is a lot. I mean, look at me. I've made more starts than roughly 2/3 of the field, and I'm not even at 400 points. I'm at almost exactly a third. Actually, I'm probably below a third of the points that Forza has right now, racked up. And that's not to mention
That's
he's got
insane.
like 100 or 200 more points than the guy in second. I think Dragon's in second, I believe, with like 700 some points. Forza's got 200 some more points. Like it's insane. Like he's been good. He's been his typical great self, but there's times he hasn't been as consistent
Yeah.
as past seasons. So
I want to add something to that kind of topic. There are some drivers in D2 that have like more like less starts than some of the guys leading the championship. They have like they're still in the playoffs. Like for example, I started the season Dakota and I have less starts than the points leader even, and then I'm still sixth in points, which shows you how competitive this season has been. And you know, it's kind of crazy how close it is between, you know, 10th on back. Like, you know, heading up to Scorcher, it's gonna be like a lot of um I feel like attendance plays a big factor in points. Um if someone to like leave during the race, like one of the playoff contenders leaving during the race, it could literally like they could literally be shucked from like first or second all the way down to like what, sixth, seventh,
yeah,
eighth spot,
yeah.
and it's kind of crazy how close it is in the point standings and the playoff standings. So
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say.
Like, I'll be honest. We've gone through. This is now our 5th point system, I think.
Wow.
The two point systems I like the most: all out system, the all out format, which was second one. We use that more. We've used that in like 2 or 3 seasons. And then maybe even 4 seasons. We used that for a while, and then we had the battle for the cup, which was all right. After that, after the battle for the cup was last season, when we had the postseason format, and now we're at the just 26 King doesn't like naming playoff formats. I like to. I was gonna call it Fight for the Cup because it was like the last time when I named Battle for the Cup. It was either Battle for the Cup or Fight for the Cup. But King just wants it to be playoffs. So I just called it the 2026 playoffs. Yeah, thank you for
Because
once
he's boring.
somebody said that. Ugh.
He's been
Anyway.
bored with everything, so I'm not surprised.
This is about to be the King diss track. Yeah. Anyone got anything to say?
Nope.
No.
Now, our last topic on this session. I'll be honest, I'm excited for the next session because who knows what my attitude is gonna be. I could be pissed off. I could be happy. Maybe I got a win and I advanced to the round of whatever's after the round of 10, round of 6, round of 8, whatever. I kind of forgot what's after the round.
The round of 6.
Is it 6? Okay, I thought it was 6.
Yeah.
And then the round of champions. So, hey, maybe we'll see what happens. Anyway, favorite NAPRA moment so far. I'll be honest. I'll start. My favorite NAPRA moments. If I were to pick 2 from each division, I would say Cup Series, New Orleans, because it was the best performance I've had in years. That's just pure bias, 100% right there. Honestly, if it wasn't for lag, Martinsville was a lot of fun, but I wouldn't put it. I can't really think of a second one for D1. I just can't pick. I can't pick and choose. I will say D2 though. Portland. Portland was one of my favorite D2 races all season. Loved Portland. Portland was amazing. In my opinion, it was entertaining. Other D2 moment? Probably Saskatchewan. The road courses in D2 have been, to say the least. Wait, did D2 race at Saska yet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
Okay,
did.
that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it was crazy.
yeah.
I was mixing up too, but yeah, D2 Saska, very good. D2 Portland, very good. I can't think of many moments. I've been so caught up in the fact of the racing product and trying to race for a playoff spot that I haven't taken much thought on the season. I've missed a lot of broadcasting. That's all I got.
Yes. For me, I'll start with D1 actually. Number 1, obviously, gonna be my first ever career cup win in the Chicago Street Course. Incredible day by me. Able to meet Chief Keef before all the controversy came out about him. We talked about
Yeah.
earlier. And I guess number 2, just I'm gonna stick it with my team. Hobbs' first win in Rockingham. That was incredible by him. Proud of the work he's done for the organization. D2, I will say, last lap Saskatchewan passed this dude for the win with an insane send and won over the border. And number 2, I'm going honestly D2 Indy as the entire race. That was awesome right there. I mean, that's how you do an intermediate pack rate.
What?
I know it's a super speedway, but they got the package down there.
What?
I
What
would
track?
name Indy D2.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty fun.
I would name another moment, but it wouldn't be PG, so I'll keep myself shut up about it. But I will give you a hint. It was between me and Michigan.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember that.
All right.
Anything for you, Russell?
For me, my number 1 moment was Rockingham. I mean, literally, I was like up there competing with the lead, with Panda and Volvo. It all came down to the final pit strategy, and I should have took less fuel, but but it's all right. I mean, we got second, so that was a good performance by me. And then second would have to be Saskatchewan because I literally accidentally took out Michigan after he took out some of the field, like how Carson Hocevar did in the real life. And I was leading up until the white flag, and then of course, David, being the Max Verstappen he is, just flying by me, and I was able to lock down P2. So that's all I gotta say for D2, and then for D1, my most favorite moment of D1 was probably Frando giving us our first D1 win. Um, that's all I gotta say. Doesn't mean like peak performance by Frando.
Yeah.
Before you left the
I
league.
have
So,
returned.
and then I'd say the next moment was probably New Orleans. New Orleans,
Yeah.
because that race is, as a whole, it was pretty fun to officiate. So that's all I gotta say for favorite moments.
Yeah. Supreme, you got any? I know you just got back. Do you have anything to say on last two topics, either favorite NAPRA moments so far or the competitiveness between both divisions, like how it stacks up compared to each other, blah blah blah. Anything? Either of those topics.
I can do both, but I mean, I haven't raced D2 yet this season, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have much of an opinion.
What do you,
But
if you were to look at the points in D2, what do you think about like what the point situation is and competitiveness compared to the point situation in?
I don't. I mean, it's not really like crazy competitive. I mean, there's be a lot of drivers in and out of the races, but like you already have like 8 drivers locked in and probably 9 by this case at least. I mean, the battle for that final spot is gonna be great. It's super speedway. It's gonna be absolute cinema. I hope it is. Hopefully Toddy makes that final spot. Hopefully. But I mean, at least from an officiating standpoint, it's kind of it's really chaotic.
Yeah.
Honestly. But I mean, it seems like it'd be fun if I were to race. Like, hopefully, if Russell can't make a race, maybe I could step in and race it, see what it's like. But other than that, chaotic, at least. And then for D1, honestly, it just depends on who you're racing against. Yeah. Some people kind of just, you can't really drive well with them because they're either overreactive to like certain hits or like I won't say no one per se is like really dirty D1. There's just certain moments it's like what are you doing? Like Kansas that entire weekend was jackknife central. Like we were getting jackknife on every freaking corner. There was just oh my god. Just lift a little bit. That's all you gotta do is just lift a little bit. Lift, you'll straighten out and you'll be side by side. You won't even miss a beat really. I'm only gonna beat you by like half of a quarter length really. But this really just depends on who you're driving against. I'm not even gonna name names because everyone's probably been a victim or been the aggressor at different points in the season. So not really one person to blame. It's just everything is just retaliatory. And then moments for D2. Honestly, I don't kind of have no. But I know I got some for D1. For D1, I'd probably say the New Orleans, specifically Ford and Forza battling it out. On that last 15 laps, like I got a front row seat to that. I was running third. It was disastrous to see Ford relive his prime for even if it was one race. That man was lit. That man was going toe to toe with Forza, and that man has like 50 wins all time and 3 championships. It's like seeing my teammate basically going toe to toe with the league's all-time leader in wins and championships was just brought a tear to my eye. Brought a tear to my eye. And then secondly, I'll probably go with me and Flicker battling it out. Those last 20 laps at Ohio. I wish I didn't step off the gas that much with like 2 or 3 to go. But it was nice seeing Flicker get back into victory lane trying to defend his title. Other moment. I'm gonna say probably Kansas was a good race, obviously. I haven't raced at Darlington or Richmond yet, and I think those two races are gonna be really good. And those are the ones that I can. But yeah, those are. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Well,
who is? I'll be honest. You just cleared your throat. You sounded just like Flicker. I was wondering how the heck. Anyway, I think that's all we got for today's cooldown lap. So I mean that was just over an hour, so pretty good timing. Got a lot of topics in. So anything? Anybody else wants to talk about? Maybe how this upcoming Scorcher event's gonna go. We think. I'm skeptical. I know that. I'm very skeptical. I'm casually optimistic. Very casually.
I'm
I'll say that.
excited, honestly. I haven't raced there yet.
Yeah, you haven't gotten to race there.
I'm very excited for this race. Very excited.
I'm sort of nervous there. I remember just like I remember racing there like a long time ago. I don't know what season it was, but I was duking out for the win. Unfortunately, I didn't win, but hopefully this time around I can bring home the win, get some really good playoff points. But yeah, I'm kind of skeptical. So that's all I gotta say.
I've only done one race at Scorcher. I remember it being with DRT at the Truck Series back then when it existed. I finished fourth, I believe. I don't really remember much, but it was kind of boring because like we were mostly separated from each other. But hopefully, this weekend brings better results.
No, honestly, I'm just ready for the playoffs. Like, playoffs
Me
really
too.
set up really well for me. Like the first round is tracks that I've won at or like competed well in. So like we're looking to bring out all the guns.
Hopefully Darlington's pretty good. I mean, it is a short track, so I mean,
I think Darlington will be amazing with these cars, honestly.
yeah. Well, is it a short track? I don't know if it's.
It is. It is.
Okay.
It is a short track.
All right, so I should be all good because I'm pretty good at short tracks. So
Well, Ford is talking to his mother right now,
Nah,
or he's looking at his
it's a video. It's a video. It's a video in the background.
Oh, I was like,
Oh.
is he listening to like rom-com or something?
Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's all we got, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
So that was Potty momentarily. We had David, myself, Supreme, Russell here. I think that'll conclude our last regular season NAPRA cooldown lap. I still almost called it a real racing hub, but it's been years since it's been called that. But a cooldown lap. So thank you guys for tuning in today, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, sorry, 15
Bye.
years. Look at this.
we'll see you.